You graduate from boot camp with honors. Your mother cries when she sees you in dress whites. Your little sister asks if you've met any sailors like in the movies. You tell her you were the sailor in the movie. Your first duty station is Naval Base San Diego, port security. Not a ship, not deployments. You check cargo containers, verify manifests, inspect vehicles entering the base. Your recruiter sold you on seeing the world. You're seeing a parking lot and the same 40-foot fence line every day. But the job is easy. Day shift, no deployments, home every night. You're an E3, seaman, $2,160 a month before taxes. After taxes and barracks deduction, $1,650 in your account. You married Maria 3 months before you ships to boot camp. High school sweethearts. She's 19, works at a Target, makes $14.50 an hour. Together, you bring home $3,100 a month. Rent in San Diego is $1,800 for a one-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood where you hear gunshots twice a week. Your car is a 2008 Honda with 190,000 miles. The check engine light has been on for 6 months. You can't afford to find out why. Maria gets pregnant 4 months into your first year. You're happy, terrified but happy. She has to quit working at 7 months, doctor's orders, high-risk pregnancy. Your income drops to $1,650 a month. Rent is $1,800. The math doesn't work. You're not eating. You skip lunch. Tell Maria you ate at the base galley. You didn't. The galley costs $8. You can't afford $8. Your daughter Isabella is born on a Tuesday. $12,000 hospital bill. Your military insurance covers most of it. Most. You owe $2,400. Payment plan, $200 a month for a year. You take out a credit card. Chase, 22% APR. You use it for groceries, for gas, for diapers. The balance climbs. $500, $1,200, $2,800. Maria cries at night, not loud, quiet crying, the kind you pretend you don't hear. She's trying to breastfeed, but she's not producing enough. Formula costs $35 a can. You need 4 cans a month. You put it on the credit card. His name is Miguel. He doesn't look like a cartel member. Looks like every other civilian contractor working the port. Mid-40s, polo shirt, clean truck, clipboard. He works for a logistics company that moves shipping containers through the base. You've checked his truck 40 times in 6 months. Clean every time, paperwork perfect. Polite. Calls you sir even though you're 20 and he's old enough to be your father. One day he asks if you have kids. You say yes, a daughter, 3 months old. He smiles, says his daughter just turned 15. Shows you a photo on his phone. Pretty girl, quinceañera dress. He asks how you're managing on Navy pay. You laugh, say you're not. He nods, says he remembers. Next week he pulls through your checkpoint. Same truck, same paperwork, everything clean. He hands you the clipboard. There's an envelope underneath. You look at it, look at him. He says, for the baby, for formula. You open it in your car during lunch. $500, cash, 5 $100 bills. Your hands shake. You know what this is. You've seen the briefs. Corruption, foreign agents, cartels. You're supposed to report it. Turn it in. Contact NCIS. You think about Maria crying, about the credit card bill, about the formula, about the check engine light. You put the envelope in your pocket. You don't spend it for 3 days. It sits in your sock drawer. You look at it every morning, tell yourself you're going to turn it in, report it, do the right thing. Then Isabella gets an ear infection, screaming, fever. Maria takes her to urgent care. They won't see her without payment up front, $180. You use Miguel's money. That's the first lie you tell yourself. It's a one-time thing. Miguel comes through your checkpoint every week, Tuesday mornings, 9 a.m. Always the same truck, always clean. He doesn't mention the money, doesn't ask for anything, just polite, professional, calls you sir even though you're 20 and he's old enough to be your father. 2 weeks later, there's another envelope, same place, under the clipboard, $500. You take it, faster this time, no hesitation. You pay down the credit card, $1,000, first time the balance has gone down in 6 months. Maria asks where the money came from. You tell her you picked up extra duty, security for a visiting ship. She believes you because she wants to. The envelopes come every 2 weeks, always $500. You stop questioning it, stop overthinking it. The money solves problems. The problems are real. Therefore, the money is necessary. That's the logic. That's the trap. You fix the car. The check engine light was a bad O2 sensor, $340. You buy Maria new clothes. She hasn't bought anything for herself since before Isabella was born. You take her to dinner, a real restaurant, not McDonald's, somewhere with candles. She cries, happy crying, says she didn't think you could afford this. You tell her you got a promotion. Another lie. Easier time. 3 months in, Miguel asks for something. Not a demand, a request. Polite, professional. Same tone he uses to say good morning. He says a container is coming through tomorrow, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Container number TCLU 47829-379. The paperwork will be clean, everything will be legal, but he'd appreciate it if you didn't open it for inspection. Just wave it through, check the manifest. Don't break the seal. He doesn't say what's inside. He doesn't have to. You both know. You say yes before you realize you're speaking. The container comes through the next day, right on schedule. TCLU 47829-379. Your checkpoint, your shift. The paperwork is perfect. Bill of lading, customs declaration, electronic furniture from Guadalajara to a warehouse in Chula Vista. Your job is to randomly inspect 10% of commercial containers. This one qualifies for inspection. You have a K9 unit on standby, you have X-ray scanning, you have authority to break the seal and physically search. You wave it through. Don't break the seal. Don't call the dog. Don't scan it. The truck drives away. The container disappears into San Diego traffic. You just let 40 feet of cartel cargo onto American soil. You throw up in the bathroom 20 minutes later. Not from fear, from understanding. You just crossed a line you can't uncross. That night, there's $500 in an envelope taped under your car's front bumper. You find it when you get home. You take it inside. You don't spend it, not immediately. You hide it. But hiding it isn't refusing it. You already took it. The moment you waved that container through, you took it. The containers come every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week, always the same process. Miguel gives you the number, you wave it through. Money appears. You're making $8,000 a month, more than most officers, more than civilians with college degrees, more than honest people. You move to a better apartment, 2 bedrooms, safe neighborhood. Maria asks how you're affording it. You tell her you made E4. She believes you because she doesn't check your LES. If she did, she'd see you're still E3. You buy a newer car, 2015 Toyota, certified pre-owned, $18,000. Pay cash. Maria cries again, happy crying. She thinks you saved for this. You did save. Blood money saves the same as honest money. The bank doesn't ask where it came from. Isabella is 1 year old. You throw her a birthday party, rent a park pavilion, decorations, cake, presents. All the families from Maria's mom group come. They ask what you do in the Navy. You say port security. They say that sounds safe. You say it is. You're not lying. It is safe. For you, the people whose lives are being destroyed by what you're smuggling through, different story. You know what's in the containers. Not officially, but you know. Cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine. Tons of it. Literally tons. Each container holds 40,000 pounds of cargo. If even 10% is drugs, that's 4,000 pounds. Street value? Millions. You do the math once. The containers you've let through in 1 year estimated 50,000 pounds of narcotics. Deaths attributable to fentanyl alone estimated 2,000 people. You stop doing the math. Your chief, Senior Chief Ramirez, is Old Navy, 22 years. Deployment pins from Iraq, Afghanistan, and the Gulf. He runs port security like a ship. Tight, professional, by the book. He notices things. That's his job. He notices you're driving a newer car, notices you moved to a better apartment, notices you're not stressed about money anymore. He pulls you aside one day, casual, asks how you're doing. You say fine. He asks if you need anything. Financial counseling, Navy relief. He can help if you're struggling. You say you're not struggling. Your wife got a job, remote work, good pay. He nods, doesn't push, but he's watching now. 2 weeks later, he shows up at your checkpoint unannounced, observing. You're professional, by the book. Check every vehicle, run every license, verify every manifest. No containers come through that day. Coincidence. Luck. Miguel knows the schedule, knows when Ramirez does his rounds. Ramirez tells you you're doing great. Keep it up. You thank him, he leaves. That night, Miguel texts you. First time he's ever texted. Says the chief is a problem. Says he's asking questions. Says it needs to be handled carefully. You text back, I'll handle it. You don't know what that means, but you said it. You avoid Ramirez for 2 weeks, not obviously, just carefully. Different shifts, different checkpoints. You trade duty days with other sailors. Then a container comes through on a day you can't avoid. Ramirez is there. Random inspection day. He's checking everything. The container is MSCU 987327. Miguel gave you the number that morning. Inside, commercial tile from Sinaloa. Real tile. Also, 800 kilograms of cocaine. Street value, $40 million. Ramirez pulls the container for inspection. It's in the queue, next in line. K9 unit is ready, X-ray is ready. You feel your pulse in your throat. You can't stop this. If Ramirez opens that container, it's over. NCIS, investigation. They'll trace the pattern, pull security footage, see every container you waved through. You'll go to Leavenworth, military prison, decades. Maria will leave you. Isabella will grow up visiting you behind glass. Miguel texts, fix it. You don't know how. You're a seaman. Ramirez is senior chief. You can't override him. You can't order him. You can't stop him. Then the fire alarm goes off. Building 6, warehouse fire. All hands, emergency response. Ramirez runs. So do you. So does everyone. The container sits, unattended. It takes 20 minutes to confirm it's a false alarm. Electrical fault. No fire, no smoke, no emergency. When you get back, the container is gone. Moved through during the evacuation. Already off the base. Gone. Miguel texts, thank you. You didn't pull the alarm. You don't know who did. Maybe coincidence. Maybe Miguel has people inside the base. People who aren't you. You throw up in the bathroom again. Second time, but this time you know you're too deep to surface. Ramirez keeps watching. He's not stupid. He's been in the Navy longer than you're alive. He knows something's wrong, he just can't prove it. He starts keeping notes, dates, times, containers, your shifts. He's building a pattern. You find out because another sailor tells you. Petty Officer Chen. He saw Ramirez's notebook in his office, saw your name, thought you should know. You tell Miguel. He says it's handled. You ask what that means. He doesn't answer. 3 days later, Ramirez doesn't show up for work. Calls in sick. Flu. He's out for a week. When he comes back, he's different. Quiet. Stops asking questions. Stops watching you. You ask Chen what happened. Chen says Ramirez's daughter had a scare. Some guys showed up at her college campus, asked about her dad, asked if she walks home alone at night, then left. She called Ramirez crying, terrified. He filed a police report. Police said they'd look into it. They didn't. Ramirez stops taking notes, stops watching you, stops asking questions. He doesn't look at you the same way anymore. Not respect, not trust, just fear. He knows. He knows what you are. He knows what they are. He knows he can't stop either. You stole his courage. That's worse than stealing his money. You're 23 now. 3 years in. 1 year left on your contract. You've let through an estimated 200,000 pounds of narcotics. You've made $380,000. You own nothing in your name. The money is hidden. Cash in a safe, gold coins in a deposit box under your brother's name, cryptocurrency in a wallet only you can access. On paper, you make $2,400 a month as an E4. In reality, you're clearing $10,000 a month minimum. Some months $20,000. 1 month during a big push, $35,000. Maria thinks you're frugal, thinks you're good with money. She doesn't ask where it came from anymore. She doesn't want to know. She's not stupid. She's just willing to not ask the question if it means keeping the apartment, keeping the car, keeping the life. Isabella is 3. She speaks English and Spanish, calls you Papi, asks why you have to go to work. You tell her you're protecting people. She believes you. Kids believe anything. You think about extending your contract. The Navy wants you to. Good eval, no disciplinary issues, model sailor. They'll give you a $10,000 re-enlistment bonus. Miguel wants you to stay too. Says you're reliable, professional. Says he'll double your pay. That you want out. You want to take the money and run. Go somewhere else. Start over. Be clean. You tell Miguel you're getting out. End of contract. 4 months. He's quiet for a long time. Then he says, "We'll talk about it." That's not a conversation. That's a threat. You start having nightmares. Not about getting caught. About the drugs. About the people. You dream about a girl, 16, overdosed on fentanyl that came through your checkpoint. Her mother finds her blue in the bathroom. Dead. You wake up sweating. Maria asks if you're okay. You say work stress. She stops asking. You start drinking. Not a lot, just enough. 2 beers after work, then 4, then 6. Then it's not beer, it's whiskey, straight, no ice. Maria says you're drinking too much. You say you're fine. You're not fine. You're holding together with duct tape and willpower. Your detailer calls, asks about re-enlistment. You say you're getting out. He asks why. You say personal reasons. He says the Navy needs good sailors like you. You almost laugh. 2 months before your end of contract, another sailor starts asking questions. Petty Officer Garcia. Young, motivated, thinks he's going to make a difference, thinks the Navy is clean, thinks the system works. He notices the containers, the patterns, the fact that certain trucks never get inspected. He starts keeping notes, just like Ramirez did. But Garcia doesn't have a daughter. Garcia doesn't scare. Garcia files a report with NCIS. Miguel tells you this like he's giving you a weather update. Calm, factual. Says Garcia is a problem. Says it needs to be resolved. You ask what that means. He says, "You tell me." You don't tell him anything. You don't have to. You both know. 3 weeks later, Garcia doesn't show up for muster. His roommate checks his barracks room. Empty. His car is in the parking lot, keys in it, phone on the seat, wallet, ID, everything. He's gone. Just gone. No note, no body, no evidence, just vanished. NCIS investigates for 2 weeks. Then they close the case. Voluntary disappearance. AWOL. Dishonorable discharge in absentia. That's the official story. You know the real story. You didn't pull the trigger. You didn't make the call. But you told Miguel about Garcia. You set it in motion. You killed him. Now with your hands, with your mouth. It's the same thing. You can't sleep anymore. At all, not even with the whiskey. You lie awake next to Maria and stare at the ceiling. Isabella's baby monitor is on the nightstand. You can hear her breathing. Small. Innocent. Safe. Safe because of money you made getting Garcia killed. Safe because of drugs that killed someone else's daughter. The math of your life is written in blood, and you can't balance it. You think about turning yourself in, walking into NCIS, confessing, witness protection, immunity, start over. But you ask yourself the same question you asked that federal agent in the corruption script. Who would you be confessing to? Which investigator? Which office? The Navy has people on the payroll too, Miguel told you once. Casual. Like commenting on the weather. Even the people who investigate corruption are corrupt. You're trapped. Not by the contract, and that's almost over. Trapped by what you know. By what you did. By what they'll do to Maria and Isabella if you talk. You finish your 4 years. They process you out. DD 214. Honorable discharge. Thank you for your service. You're a veteran now. You have $400,000 hidden in various places. You have a clean record. You have a family. You have nightmares that never stop. Miguel gives you a phone number. Says if you ever need work, call. Says the money's better on the outside. Port logistics, civilian side, same work, triple the pay. You take the number. You tell yourself you won't call it. You move to Texas, get a job at a warehouse, $22 an hour, legitimate, legal, clean. You last 6 months. Then Maria's car breaks down. Transmission, $4,000. You have the money hidden, but you can't explain where it came from. You call the number. Miguel answers on the second ring, like he was waiting. Says he has a position open. Port of Houston. Same work. $15,000 a month. You say yes. You're 28 now. You've been out of the Navy for 4 years. You work for a logistics company. Same job. Check manifests, wave containers through, don't ask questions. You make $180,000 a year. You have a house, a nice car. Isabella goes to private school. Maria thinks you're good at business. She stopped asking questions years ago. You don't sleep. You drink every night. You take pills for anxiety, pills for sleep, pills to stay awake, pills to not think about Garcia, about the girl in your dreams, about the 200,000 pounds of poison you helped move. Your son Mateo is born. You hold him in the hospital. He's perfect, small, innocent, like Isabella was, like you were. You think about what kind of man he'll think you are, if he'll be proud, if he'll understand. He won't, because you can't explain it. How do you explain that you joined the Navy to serve your country and ended up serving a cartel? How do you explain that you became the thing you swore to protect against? You can't, so you don't. You go to work, you wave the containers through, you take the money, you go home, you drink, you take the pills, you lie awake. Not because you want to, because at 20 years old you took an envelope with $500 in it, and once you take the first one, you don't decide when to stop. The Navy didn't make you a criminal. Economics did. Miguel didn't trap you. Your $2,160 a month salary did. The system that pays sailors poverty wages and then acts surprised when they get corrupted. You were a good person. You wanted to serve. You wanted to be proud. But good people don't pay for formula. Money does. And when you're desperate enough, you'll take money from anyone. Even the devil. Even if he's wearing a polo shirt and calling you sir.